Kansas City in the Midwest as we get set for this American League Central matchup between the Cleveland Indians and the Kansas City Royals in one of the prettiest ballparks in the country, Kauffman Stadium. Game 2 of this 3-game series. The Royals won last night 3-1 as we get set for the middle game of this series. And yes, it is Derby Day, and that means we have to dress appropriately. Justin Kutcher alongside Eric Karros. And Eric, a big theme this year in baseball are the young stars in the game. And while neither of these two teams have gotten off the starts maybe they wanted to, they do have some studs. For Cleveland, their shortstop, Francisco Lindor, is one of the best in the game. And for Kansas City, their first baseman, Eric Hosmer, is so much fun to watch.
Well, you hit it right on the head, and that's why you've got to enjoy watching baseball. You see the young superstars taking advantage of their opportunities. Francisco Lindor has been outstanding this year, and he's added a new dimension. He's hitting for power. He's in the top 10 in home runs, slugging percentage, runs, OPS. He does it all on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. The other side of the field today, we get an opportunity to watch Eric Hosmer. The Hos, as he's known affectionately around Kansas City. He's swinging the bat extremely well right now. 9-game hitting streak, hitting .441. He hit a monster home run last night against Danny Salazar. If he can get things going, it filters over to the rest of this Kansas City offense. They can get going and get back to where they want to be.
As far as Kansas City is concerned, just 10-18 to open up the season. The Indians 15-13. Their lineup, Carlos Santana will lead things off in DH. Francisco Lindor bats second and plays short. Michael Brantley, what a story he is, will bat third and play left field. Edwin Encarnacion will bat cleanup and play first base. Jose Ramirez at third base bats fifth. Jason Kipnis will bat sixth and play second. Brendan Geyer in right will bat seventh. Yan Gomes will do the catching and bat eighth. And Abraham Almonte will play center field and bat ninth. And they will face Jason Vargas, who has been fantastic so far this year.
Yeah, fantastic to say the least. I mean, he's been absolutely dominant, especially at home. 3-0 at home. Overall, you look at the season, he's 4-1. He's got an ERA of 1.42, and it's even lower in his starts at home. He's left-handed, and guess what? That spells trouble this year for this Cleveland Indian Ball Club.
The Indians do not like facing lefties, just 4-8 this year against left-handers. They feature 4 switch hitters in their lineup, including Carlos Santana, who will lead things off. It is a beautiful, beautiful Saturday afternoon here in Kansas City. And we are all set for some baseball. The first pitch from Vargas is in there for a strike. At 83 miles per hour, Carlos Santana on the season, 209, a couple home runs, 16 RBIs. But you see that on-base percentage up over 300. Because this guy, no matter what, is always able to draw walks.
Yeah, very patient hitter, which is typical of this Cleveland Indian Ball Club. Arguably the most patient ball club in all of baseball.
Breaking ball in there for a strike, 1-2. You mentioned Vargas and his numbers at home. How about a 0.44 ERA this year at home? 1 earned run in 20 2/3 innings.
Well, one of the advantages of pitching here at Kauffman Stadium, it's a very expansive field. Ball does not carry well. Really a pitcher's dream. Now, if you're going to throw, you'd like to throw at night games. Ball tends to carry a little bit better in the day. But one of the reasons why Vargas's numbers are so much better at home.
Another 1-2 in the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, overall everything is good, but when you have a .44 ERA, that really does help the overall earned run average.
Yeah, that moves you from good to really, really good.
2-2 is pulled foul, stays 2-2 to Santana.
You know, Santana's one of the guys where we talked about earlier the Indians having struggles against left-handed pitching. And he just hasn't really been able to get it going, hitting at a 136 clip, 240 on base percentage. That's got to change.
Pops it up in the infield. First base, Hosmer, shielding his eyes from the sun, makes the catch. One away here in the first. Let's take a look at the defense behind Vargas. There's Salvador Perez behind the plate. We just saw Hosmer at first, Whit Merrifield at second, Alcides Escobar at short, Mike Moustakas at third. In the outfield from left to right, Alex Gordon, Lorenzo Cain, Jorge Soler making his first appearance as a member of the Kansas City Royals. Activated off the DL. He was acquired in the offseason from the Cubs in the trade for Wade Davis. And the first pitch fastballs in there for a strike to Francisco Lindor. Another switch hitter, hitting .291, 7 home runs, 17 RBIs. Lindor, one of the few switch hitters who actually his splits aren't too drastic. He pulls one foul down at third baseline. You see those numbers, and you're going, okay, you know what? Right-handed, he's hitting .311, lefty .277. Better power numbers from the left side right now, but more opportunities also from the left side. In the air, left field, Gordon going back. He's got room in front of the warning track, makes the catch, and there are 2 away here in the first. The umpires for today's game: Pat Hoberg behind the plate, Rob Drake at first, Tony Randazzo at second, and the crew chief Jerry Davis at third.
Jerry, one of the better umpires in the league, the crew chief, been around forever, still doing a great job.
2 outs now for Michael Brantley, a left fielder who missed essentially all of last year. Shoulder issues, the right shoulder. Takes the first pitch for a strike on the outside corner.
Well, and you think about it, this team took the world champion Cubs all the way to Game 7. No Michael Brantley, arguably the best player on this team. Get an argument about with Lindor, but he wasn't even with this club last year.
Swing and a miss, no balls and 2 strikes.
Well, Vargas not messing around at all, going right after the hitters. First pitch strikes on all 3 batters. Lindor, 3 strikes. Brantley, first 2 pitches strikes.
The 0-2 from Vargas. Breaking ball, a spoiled foul, stays no balls and 2 strikes. And Michael Brantley, since 2014, again missing almost all of last year, but he's right up there with the tops in baseball for batting average. And again, they did that without him last year. Takes the pitch up high, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, you think about it, not only without him, but with some of their core pitchers and that starting staff, Carlos Carrasco and Danny Salazar. There you see it, Tito Francona, Terry.
Fouled away.
Does a nice job. I mean, the way he runs the clubhouse, gets everybody to pull on the same side of the rope. You know the success that he had in Boston, and you know what he's done here in Cleveland. Built something that looks sustainable.
1-2, Brantley in the air to left field. Gordon says, I got it. He does. And it's the 1-2-3 inning for Vargas here in the first. The Royals coming up. No score. Merrifield will lead things off here for the Royals against Josh Tomlin, who works very, very quickly for the Indians. And first pitch swings and fouls it down the third baseline, and that's a good thing for us because with that foul ball, we could actually tell you what the lineup is for the Royals. Well, Merrifield will lead things off. Mike Moustakas will bat second. Lorenzo Cain in the 3-hole. Eric Hosmer, last night's hitting hero, bats cleanup. Salvador Perez will bat fifth. Alex Gordon will bat sixth. The bottom third of the order, Jorge Soler, Brandon Moss, and Alcides Escobar. Thank you very much, Whit Merrifield. Ground ball, short. Lindor, the long throw. Effortless. He made that play from the outfield grass, and that is a long throw, and that wasn't a struggle at all.
No, it wasn't a struggle, and he knew what kind of time he had. And what you'll see, big league shortstop, they'll get the guy by a step, whether it's somebody real slow or somebody real fast. They have that timer, that internal timer where they know the feel of the game, they know the runner, they know what they have to do to get that runner at first.
One away now for Mike Moustakas. And Moustakas takes the first pitch outside for ball one. Moustakas named the Royals April Player of the Month. He's at 267, 7 home runs and 12 RBIs. And he's ahead in the count, 2-0. The shift is on for Moustakas. The only player on the left side of the infield for Cleveland is Jose Ramirez. Tomlin's 2-0. Popped up beyond the plate. Yan Gomes for a look. This will be a souvenir. And everyone looks really brave going for it. And right when it's about to come down, that's when you back away. The numbers on Tomlin aren't pretty right now, but really it's because of his first 2 games this year.
Well, and you look at him, he's going to be around the plate. Only 3 walks, but he's given up more hits than innings pitched. He's not a guy that has swing and miss stuff. It'll be interesting with this matchup with the Royals, who love to swing the bat.
Another foul ball out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Those first 2 starts of the year at Arizona, 4 2/3, 7 hits, 6 runs. Then against the White Sox, an inning and 2/3, 8 hits, 7 runs.
Yeah, that'll mess up your numbers as far as what's up on the scoreboard for a while, because you don't have a lot of opportunity to change those things for a while. It's going to take you a number of starts. He threw relatively well in his last outing. You see right there, that's the grip for the curveball here. Moustakas just nips it a little bit. Gets him another pitch.
Another foul ball off the glove of Yan Gomes. Stays 2-2. Breaking ball hit back to Tomlin. He'll make the play. 2 away here in the first. Well, the defense behind Tomlin. There's Francisco Lindor at short. He's got Jose Ramirez at third, Jason Kipnis at second, Edwin Encarnacion at first. In the outfield, it's Michael Brantley, Abraham Almonte, and Brandon Guyer in right, and Yan Gomes is behind the plate. Here is Lorenzo Cain, the center fielder for the Royals. First pitch in the air, center field. Almonte, plenty of room, makes the catch. And a 1-2-3 inning works by Tomlin. No score at the end of 1 here in Kansas City. Edwin Encarnacion will lead things off here against Jason Vargas. Scoreless game. First pitch, Encarnacion, a big swing and a miss. Encarnacion with his 5th home run of the season last night at 210, also 11 RBIs. He was the big free agent signing in the offseason for Cleveland. Kind of fell into their laps. People thought he was going to get huge money. Not to say he didn't get big money. It's big money. But people thought maybe 25, close to 30 a year. With the Blue Jays last year, 42 home runs, 127 RBIs.
Well, he got a hold of one last night, hit a home run. You know, but when we talk about the futility of this Indians offense against left-handed pitching, Encarnacion has really struggled. Doesn't have one extra base hit against left-handers. 176 slugging so far this year.
And he works a walk to lead off the second. Speaking of the home run, this was last night. Breaking ball, he didn't miss it.
No, he crushed that, and then later in the game off Herrera, he hit a double to the right field wall.
Leadoff walk, and here comes Jose Ramirez. And Ramirez takes the first pitch for a strike. Jose Ramirez, 314, 6 home runs, 23 RBIs. But a much better hitter from the left side than he is from the right side, so far at least this year. And he's behind in the count, 0-2. I mean, look at the difference. Lefty versus righty.
Yeah, no question of difference. But look at the Indians will take those numbers hitting right-handed against a lefty, the 262.
Called strike 3 on the inside corner by Pat Hoberg. First strikeout of the game for Jason Vargas.
You watch him, he'd been working him away, so he's looking out over the plate, and then he just comes off the inside part. The fact that he hits his target, he gets the call. Sal doing a nice job of framing that pitch.
One away now for Jason Kipnis. Kipnis takes the first pitch, breaking ball for a strike. Kipnis just trying to get back into form, really. Opened the year on the DL with a right shoulder strain. Fouls one down the left field line, out of play.
Well, and you saw those numbers. I think he was hitting about 170. That's hot, really, for him, because against left-handed pitching, he's hitting 111. It's another one of those guys that historically in their careers they've fared a lot better than what they're doing right now.
The 0-2. Pulls it. Merrifield makes the play to second for one. Over to first, not in time. So close to being a dazzling double play. And the question will be, does Ned Yost challenge this? He's saying, hold on, let me look at a replay.
I'm going to say no before I see it. He looked safe to me. Come on, you got to say it before you see it, Justin.
I just thought it was so pretty initially.
No, there you go on the fence. I thought it was so pretty. Let's call it like the umpires. I said he was safe.
I agree.
Well, you said that after. You can't say that after you see it.
You know, you're the analyst. You have time to do that. I'm worried about everything else going on right here.
Well, tell us who's hitting.
Right now, it's Brandon Guyer. And guess what? Brandon Guyer gets hit with a pitch yet again. He led Major League Baseball last year getting hit with pitches with 31, and he gets hit again.
Right up on top of the plate, and that's just he's not moving. But you see that front foot is right up there, basically daring the pitcher to throw inside.
Third time this year he's been hit by a pitch. So first and second, 2 outs. And Yan Gomes will step to the plate. Just missing for ball one. Gomes, 224, a home run, and 2 RBIs. Were you one of those guys who just left your leg there, or would you try to move it to get out of the way?
No, I was moving.
Gomes, center field. Kane shielding his eyes from the sun, able to make the catch. And the Indians leave 2 men on. Still no score here in KC. Sponsored by the LG G6, the big screen that fits in your hands. And by Cialis. Bottom of the second here at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. Justin Kutcher alongside Eric Karros here on Derby Day. No score, Indians and Royals. Eric Hosmer to lead things off. And he takes the first pitch for a strike from Josh Tomlin. Hosmer up to 271 with 3 home runs and 12 RBIs. One of those home runs, a mammoth blast, came last night. Breaking ball drops in for strike 2.
Yeah, that was last night's home run off of Danny Salazar. We were sitting watching that thing, and I just about fell out of my chair. You know what, though? It seems like home runs this year, I mean, if you don't hit at 450, I mean, everybody's crushing.
Just reaching for one here down the left field line, and it's foul. This was the home run last night, and you wonder, did he get all of it?
I mean, where this thing landed too. I'm looking like in the where the fans are, where the thing, and it's like, no, it's at the top of your picture, way back. Jeez.
A 9-game hitting streak for Hosmer.
Well, let's check out the matchup today, because he has not fared well against Tomlin historically. 161 batting average, although he has hit 2 home runs.
The 1-2 from Tomlin. Called strike 3. A good pitch there by Josh Tomlin. Hosmer does not agree. He thought pitch may be low, maybe outside, but Pat Hoberg says, I'm
going to say outside. Let's see. That's a nasty pitch. You know, he'd thrown a pitch earlier in the count that was called the strike. Again, that's the type of guy behind the plate in Hoburg that Tomlin is going to use to his advantage.
Salvador Perez takes the first pitch, curveball for a ball. Salvia, as they call him here in Kansas City, hitting .242 with 6 home runs and 15 RBIs.
Now he's been very comfortable against Tomlin. .552. That's pretty good.
That's beyond being comfortable.
That's just.
That average just went up. A 1-out single for Perez.
You know, it just, there's certain guys that you feel real comfortable and you see the ball well against. And for Sal Perez, this is one of those guys. And Tomlin is very aware of that, and so is Sal. I mean, he's just up there, he's relaxed. It's, look, I know I'm going to hit this ball hard. It's just, you know, what's the count going to be? Where we just saw a guy like Eric Hosmer, you know, in the midst of a 9-game hitting streak, he just does not see it well against him.
Speaking of a guy who's not seeing it well, Alex Gordon at the plate, hitting just a .180, but rips one to second base. Kipnis goes Lindor for one, over to first, not in time, as Gordon able to beat it out. And that's one of those where the shifts maybe hurts you, or it maybe helps you because you get at least one.
Well, you get one right there. I mean, that ball was hit hard. I'm going to say he was safe. Let's see, what do we got? Come on, you got to play the game. You're not even playing.
I wasn't playing. We weren't going to a review.
They're not checking it? No, they're not. I thought they called him out there. See, you're ahead of me in this game.
It's a fielder's choice, 4-6. 2 outs, and here's Jorge Soler, his first at bat as a member of the Kansas City Royals. Last year with the Cubs, .238, 12 home runs, 31 RBIs. Had a strained left oblique. Went on a rehab assignment. Activated today, gets the start in right field. And they expect him to be the everyday right fielder. I mean, that's the reason why you trade Wade Davis to get this guy.
Yeah, very athletic young man. He's got some power. But just wasn't really going to have an opportunity to play every day in Chicago. Here you feel like he's going to be run out there and maybe he can get some sort of consistency going. Again, a physical specimen.
No balls, 2 strikes to Soler, with Gordon on at first base. 2 away here, bottom half of the second. Alex Gordon on the season is 0 for 1 in stolen bases. Tomlin is not afraid to throw over to first base. 0-2 is outside.
Well, you always think that the Kansas City Royals, this is a team that it's athletic. They're going to run and run and run. But as I mentioned at the top of the show, outside of Lorenzo Cain, there is not one guy on this active roster that has attempted more than 1 stolen base. I mean, that's crazy.
In the dirt, good stop by Gomes. That really is, because when you think about 2014, 2015, what was so incredible about this Royals team was the fact that they were putting pressure on the defense. Stealing bases, taking the extra base. 2-2, swing and a miss, 2 strikeouts in the inning for Tomlin. We head to the 3rd here in Kansas City. No score, Indians and Royals. 1-2 in the order for the Indians. Abraham Almonte, Carlos Santana, Francisco Lindor against Jason Vargas. And the first pitch is in there for a strike to Almonte. Another switch hitter, the fourth switch hitter in the lineup for the Indians. And Almonte hitting .254, a home run, 6 RBIs. And he pulls that slow breaking ball foul. And talk about splits, and splits you don't want to see. Here you go. 294 lefty, 125 righty.
It's not good. One of the many, again, it's one of those things where these guys, these right-handed hitters, or these switch hitters that hit from the right side, they just have not got going against the left-handed pitching this year. And that's why Cleveland has struggled. Much like teams now are lining up left-handers when Cleveland comes to town. They'll face Duffy tomorrow, left-hander. But it's much like over the National League. You've got the Los Angeles Dodgers, where teams try to get their left-handers to go against these ball clubs.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Almonte. Speaking with Ned Yost beforehand, he said how he even shuffled the rotation to make sure that they had Vargas and they had Duffy going against these Indians. He mentioned how they have 4 lefties in the bullpen. 2-2, got him swinging. Second strikeout of the game for Vargas. First out here in the 3rd. Time now for the keys to the game, sponsored by the Lincoln Motor Company.
Well, one of them, Vargas, has got to get inside to the righties. Now, you just saw that pitch away, but what he does is he throws away, and then boom, he can sneak one inside. Neither team has hit well with runners in scoring position. The Indians at a 212 clip, the Royals 189. We already saw the Indians had an opportunity earlier, did not capitalize.
Carlos Santana popped out to first his first time up. Rips one down the left field line, but foul. 0-1. Speaking with Santana yesterday, I asked him, how do you decide as a switch hitter during BP which side to hit from? He said, I get 5 rounds of BP. I alternate, and if I'm facing a lefty, I'll go 1 extra round righty. If I'm facing a righty, I go 1 extra round lefty. And then he said sometimes it goes by feel. If I know I'm struggling with one side, I'll take an extra turn on the side I'm struggling with. If that's the case, you'd think you'd be taking more sides with the right one.
Well, when you think about it, just a normal hitter, the amount of time you spend trying to perfect one side, well, theoretically, you've got to double that, right? If you're hit from both sides, it's amazing what these guys can do.
2 balls and 2 strikes, and then on top of that, as a switch hitter, you're never facing, as a righty, you're never facing a righty.
Well, that's why you're switching. Right, that's why you want to switch it.
But as BP goes, you're not always facing that opposite pitcher. And now Santana, a little flare to left field, drops in for a base hit.
You see a breaking ball here, just leaves it up a little bit, really on the outer part of the zone. Santana goes out and gets it and yanks it in the left. Wasn't all that bad of a pitch.
First hit of the game for the Indians will bring up Francisco Lindor. With all the great young shortstops in the game, if you had to choose one right now, who is it?
Well, I'm biased. I live in Southern California.
Seager.
I see him every day. I'm going Corey Seager. I mean, just what he means to the ball club, what he can do, hit for power, average. You've got guys like Correa, Lindor. But for me, right now, it's Corey Seager.
1 ball, no strikes. Here to Lindor. And their first strike, 1-1. Among the league leaders in extra base hits this year, Mike Trout. That guy is just incredible. 1 and 2. You've been around the game for a long time. Mike Trout, where is he among the best you've ever seen?
Well, the scary part about it, he's so great that you just almost take him for granted. Like, you just go, oh yeah, that's Mike Trout, and the numbers that he puts up. I mean, you look at what he's done his first 4 or 5 years, and they're really not comparable to anybody. I mean, where he's finished in the MVP voting, and you know the way we measure players nowadays. I mean, he's at the top of the list.
Lindor chases, and he goes down swinging. Strikeout number 3 for Vargas. Out number 2.
Well, you see, you know he's trying to get him with the breaking ball. That was the first pitch. Again, he goes down. He's staying out of the zone, hitting corners, nothing overpowering. And boom, 72-mile-an-hour curveball that bounces. Uses Lindor's aggressiveness against him.
2 away now for Michael Brantley. Brantley flew out to left field his first time up. Pulls it foul down the first baseline, 0-1.
You see Vargas getting in there right away. He's ahead in the count. Now look for him to expand, go something soft, probably outside the zone.
One and one the count here.
You know, we haven't seen a lot of good swings by Indians hitters so far. Seen a lot of the foul balls off the end of the bat, jammed. I mean, nothing square for the most part.
The 1-1 from Vargas. Missing down low. 2-1 now to Brantley. Vargas 4-1 on the season with a 1.42 ERA. He is undefeated in his last 9 home starts. And this is pulled past the diving Hosmer into right field. Stopping at second base is Santana. So it's first and second, 2 outs here for Cleveland. And Edwin Encarnacion coming up.
Almonte doing a nice job of, Santana doing a nice job of avoiding getting hit by that batted ball. All right, here we go. Indians with runners in scoring position, second time here.
This is the reason why you go out and you sign a guy like Edwin Encarnacion. RBI situation. Takes the first pitch for a ball. He walked his first time up.
Well, and as we mentioned, he's still looking for his first RBI against a left-handed pitcher.
He was part of that just ridiculous Toronto offense. That lineup. Bautista. Tulowitzki. I mean, you go up and down that lineup. Donaldson. It was like, what do you do? Who do you pitch to? 1-1 breaking ball misses outside. 2 balls and a strike. First and second, 2 outs. Indians threatening here. And that's a good swing. Fouled back, 2-2.
Encarnacion hasn't fared well from a hitting standpoint, though from an on-base percentage standpoint, he has done well against lefties. He came in today at about a 370 clip. He walked his first at-bat.
The 2-2 from Vargas. Just missing with the curveball. Now 3-2. The runners will be off with the pitch.
If I'm Vargas, I'm not throwing him anything that is really a strike. I'm going to try and nibble, maybe throw something off speed, but I am not giving in to Encarnacion.
There go the runners, the 3-2, and a big swing. Fouls it straight back.
Went with the curveball there. Wishes he could have that one back. Does Encarnacion. That thing just hanging up there.
Another 3-2. Fastball. That's Merrifield from shortstop making the play. And again, the Indians will leave a couple of men on base. At the bottom half of the third, no score. At Kauffman Stadium, there is Ian Kennedy, placed on the DL just the other day. Jason Hamill next to him, the starting pitcher in last night's game for the Royals, pitched really well. And the first pitch here to Brandon Moss is taken for a strike. Nate Carnes, the third member of that trio right there. Moss right into the shifts. There's Kipnis from the outfield grass, one away. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is back and better than ever. Watch every out-of-market game live at home, in the office, or on the go for just $19.99. Visit MLB.TV for details. And I can tell you right now, I absolutely love that.
Oh, you're not lying. Catch the game anywhere on your mobile devices as well. Love it.
Alcides Escobar steps in, takes the first pitch for a strike. Escobar on the season, 192, no home runs, 5 RBIs. How about this? Alcides Escobar is making his 200th consecutive start today. Little pop up. We'll head towards the seats. And he's behind the camera.
How many starts did you say?
200. Yeah. And guess what? That leads the major leagues.
So, you know, that's one of the things, though, again, when a guy's struggling offensively and maybe needs a little break, you know, that's, you know, why do you keep running him out there? I mean, you look at the on-base percentage here, a little above 220.
Ground ball, second base. Kipnis again. 2 up, 2 down.
I mean, I understand you want to work through things and, you know, you keep giving guys opportunities, but there is something to be said about, you know, letting the guy breathe. You know, take a day or two, let him slow the game down. You know, it's interesting just with the offensive struggles that the Royals have had as of late. You know, that really hasn't been an option. Or it's been an option, but it hasn't been used.
Whit Merrifield takes the first pitch, curveball for a strike. Merrifield grounded out to shortstop his first time up. But it's funny, I'm thinking 200 consecutive starts leads all players. How times have changed. Line drive caught at third base by Jose Ramirez, and we are through 3 here in Kansas City. Still no score. Ramirez will lead things off against Jason Vargas. Scoreless game. And the first pitch, Ramirez fouls it back out of play. Ramirez struck out looking in the second. One of 3 strikeout victims thus far for Jason Vargas.
Well, and he's setting him up the same way. His last at bat, he went outside, and then froze him on a pitch that was really, it was off the plate inside, but Vargas got the strike 3 call. We'll see if he repeats his same thing he did the first AB.
Breaking ball hit to right field for a base hit. So this time it's Jose Ramirez who wins the battle.
Nice job there by Ramirez. Vargas tried to change him up a little bit, didn't go in as he did his first time. Throws an off-speed pitch here, a little curveball out over the plate. Ramirez just shoots it to right. Really a nice job. Good adjustment. If you're hitting right there, you're probably thinking, God, he's going to come inside again just like he did last time, but Ramirez didn't bite.
A leadoff single. Now Jason Kipnis steps in. And Kipnis takes the first pitch for a ball. Grounded into a fielder's choice, his first time up. The Chicago kid got to play in the World Series at Wrigley Field last year against the Cubs. Hit a home run at Wrigley Field. Ball and 1 strike.
Well, you remember Kipnis a few years ago signed that multi-year deal with the Indians. He was, Yan Gomes and Brantley all signed. They were nice deals at the time, and they were really the building blocks of this Indian ball club.
Foul tipped into the mitt of Salvador Perez. 1-2. This was the home run in Game 4 for Kipnis. He talked about growing up dreaming about hitting a home run in the World Series at Wrigley. He thought he'd be wearing a Cubs uniform. But to do that, oh my gosh. That to me is one of the coolest things, when you almost get to live out. All these guys grow up dreaming of becoming big league baseball players. Runner goes, pulled foul, 1-2. But to be able to live out that dream that you play in the backyard and say, you're playing in the World Series at Wrigley Field, and to actually do that, that's when it just gives you goosebumps.
I think in a lot of cases too, though, guys look back and it's the journey though that's exciting. I mean, so you get an opportunity to do that, and then it's okay. Now what? But I think it's all the time that you spent, the road that you traveled, and then you get to walk back to the dugout.
Called strike 3 on the outside corner, 4th strikeout for Vargas.
One of the things that Vargas does so well, he doesn't leave anything out over the middle of the plate. I mean, he's working off the plate inside. He's working off the plate outside. And if you can consistently do that, the umpire is going to widen that zone. I mean, he really, Ned Yost telling us before the game when I asked him, what's the difference? And he's hitting his spots. Well, yeah, no kidding, he's hitting his spots. Really? I mean, can I get a little more than that, right? But he's hitting his spots. I mean, Ned's exactly right on. I mean, it's as simple as that. Ned Yost right there, done a great job here in Kansas City.
Brandon Guyer was hit by a pitch his first time up. So what was it for you? You mentioned the journey. What about for you? I mean,
so for me, really, it was just getting to the big leagues. I mean, that was I remember as a pinch runner, I was that's my first appearance against the Chicago Cubs. But the point is, it was like, okay, that's great.
Runner goes. They've got him picked off, the throw down, and there he is. 1-3-4. Ramirez is caught stealing.
Eric Hosmer doing a nice job right here. You watch him as a first baseman. Watch him. He catches it, makes a good throw, chest high. Gold Glove winner over there.
So 2 outs now. You were a first baseman.
Was I? Is that right?
You were, yeah. I know, shocking.
Thank you very much.
For me, watching, I don't know if there's a first baseman in baseball I enjoy watching more defensively than Eric Hosmer.
Very athletic, no question, and fluid, moves extremely well over there. I mean, again, that's one of the allures. You know, he's had some great moments at the plate. You know, he's been streaky. I wouldn't call. I liken him to a guy, J.T. Snow, that used to play for the Giants. Great Gold Glove winning first baseman, a switch hitter. Put up nice numbers offensively, but not your prototypical first baseman numbers. And that's really
also
Haas, you know. Yeah, very good athlete. But Haas, I mean, again, he runs well, he fields well.
Geyer goes down swinging. So they erase that leadoff single by Ramirez. We go to the bottom half of the fourth, still scoreless. Kids out, why not? No score here as we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning. Mike Moustakas will lead things off against Josh Tomlin. And the first pitch in there for a strike. 0-1. Moustakas, his first time up, grounded back to Tomlin. He's 0 for 1. Fouls it straight back. Behind in the count, 0-2. 33 pitches thus far for Josh Tomlin. The 0-2. In the air, center field. Almonte. One away. Well, weeknights here on FS1 after all the action on the diamond. The best team of analysts in baseball get you caught up on a full night of action around the big leagues on MLB Whip Around. Weeknights at 11 Eastern on FS1 or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. That great team of analysts include the guy to my right and Eric Karros.
That's a great show on at 8 o'clock West Coast time, 11 o'clock East Coast time. You got Kevin Burkhardt, Chris Myers, Mike Hill hosting those things, and You just got guys running in and out of there, all different types of personalities. Man.
I watched last night's show, and it was KB hosting.
Yeah.
With Nick Swisher and Mark Sweeney as Lorenzo Cain swings at that breaking ball. And it was I think it was the 39th anniversary of Pete Rose's 3,000th hit. And they got Pete Rose on the phone. It was absolutely hilarious. Big swing and a miss, 1 ball and 2 strikes. I was in my hotel room laughing out loud. That's how good it was.
And Pete has some comments that you say, wow, did he really just say that?
Ripped down the third baseline. Fair ball for Cain. He's heading to second. He will stop there with a 1-out double. The 6th double of the year for Lorenzo Cain.
Well, Tomlin trying to go inside. He leaves this thing out over the plate. Doesn't get it in as far as he wants. Lorenzo does a nice job of pulling his hands inside and shoots that ball down the third base line. Easy double for Lorenzo.
First time today the Royals have had a runner in scoring position, and that brings up Eric Hosmer, who struck out looking his first time up.
Tomlin stayed away from Hosmer in his last at bat.
Hosmer fouls the first pitch back, 0-1.
And you see the Indian Ball Club playing with the shift. Really that whole left side of the infield wide open.
Deal 1 from Tomlin.
Well, yes, sorry, Justin. What's interesting about this too is you've got that whole left side open. They went away to Hosmer in his last at bat. They got him. Do you think they're going to pitch him any differently? No, they've thrown 2 pitches on the outer part of the plate, even with that left side open.
Rips this to the gap in right center. Cain will score easily. RBI single for Hosmer, 1-0 Royals. And it's a 10-game hitting streak for Eric Hosmer.
See, they try to get cute. They're going to try and go inside. Left this ball a little bit out over the plate, but still they went away from trying to go on the outer part of the plate. You see, I think he was trying to cut that ball, and it didn't. He didn't get on the side of it, get on top of it enough. That ball leaked out over the plate. Again, they had success going away. Tried to sneak one inside right there. Weren't able to execute. Eric Hosmer, a big base hit.
Perez, ground ball to third, to second for 1, over to first, a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play. But Eric Hosmer came through last night. He comes through again here today. An RBI single. It's 1-0 Royals. sponsored by AstraZeneca. If you can't afford your medications, AstraZeneca may be able to help. And by the Lincoln Continental. We are back here at beautiful Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. Eric Hosmer has given the Royals a 1-0 lead as we move to the top of the 5th inning. Yan Gomes, Abraham Almonte, Carlos Santana to face Jason Vargas. Gomes flew out to center his first time up and takes the fastball up high for ball 1. You know, one thing I love about this pitching matchup here today, both guys are working fast, both guys are around the plate, but neither are overpowering by any stretch of the imagination.
No, they're pitching, right? I mean, again, we are so caught up in velocity and how hard is somebody going to throw and overpowering this and that. But you talk to anybody that has pitched or anybody that really has a true understanding of pitching, and they'll talk about the most important thing, location. Second, movement. And third, that's when you get to velocity. This is pitching today, at least up to this point.
A 2-1. Breaking ball in there for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oof. Just missing. Count's gone full here to Yan Gomes.
That's an excellent pitch by Jason Vargas right there. And again, as well as he's executed his pitches today, you'd think he'd probably get that.
Tries to go right back there. Instead, it's a leadoff walk. That's the second walk of the game issued by Vargas. He's also hit a batter. So a leadoff walk to Yan Gomes. Abraham Almonte will step to the plate. He struck out his first time up, one of 5 strikeout victims in the game for Vargas thus far. Almonte, first pitch swinging, pops one up, shallow right, going out as Merrifield makes the catch for the first out. You know, you look at Abraham Almonte and you think about changes from last year's Indians team that made the World Series and this year's team. There's no Rajay Davis. It's a big loss. There's no Mike Napoli. Big loss. And those guys aren't just big losses in the lineup. They're big losses in the clubhouse.
Well, and we talked to Terry Francona prior to the game, and he acknowledged that. He said, look, you're not going to replace either one of those guys. You know, especially a guy like Napoli, who had such a presence inside the clubhouse. You know what he meant to this ball club off the field.
Santana rips it foul.
You know, and you can't ask somebody to, hey, all right, now you be the rah-rah guy, or you be the voice of reason, or you know, guys just, they kind of assume that position. You're not going to change a guy's personality to fit something like that. But there are leaders on this ball club.
Santana fouls it straight back. Behind the count 0-2. He singled his last time up, 1 for 2 on the day.
You know, I think looking at this club, I think Lindor eventually becomes that. But, you know, for me, it's a guy like Brantley. I mean, that's a guy that has a presence, very mature.
Hosmer going over for a look, just out of his reach into the Royals dugout.
Well, Eric gets over there as far as he can go, and it's not because of the railing. He has to keep his feet in the field of play. Can't go in there to catch the ball. It's like a receiver trying to stay in bounds.
Are we talking college or NFL? 1 foot.
I'm talking about Pop Warner, 8-year-old.
1-2 the count here to Santana. Santana to center field. Lorenzo Cain, who always gets a good jump on the ball, gets to that one, and going back to first is Gomes. 2 away here in the 5th. Francisco Lindor, an exciting young player for this Indians team.
Does a little bit of everything. I mean, known for his defense, swinging the bat better this year. If anything, adding a little bit more power, and that could be scary because if he starts driving the ball out of the ballpark already with what else he does on the field, be one of the top players in the game.
Lindor first pitch swinging. Hosmer in foul territory. Hosmer reaching back and makes the play. A leadoff walk, it doesn't matter. Indians still can't get on the board. They trail 1-0. Royals lead. Josh Tomlin, through 4 innings, has thrown 42 pitches. He'll face Alex Gordon, Jorge Soler, and Brandon Moss in the 5th. Gordon reached on a fielder's choice his first time up. And he swings and misses at the first pitch here. Alex Gordon, he's one of those head scratchers. Trying to figure out what has happened to him the last year and a month or so.
Well, Ned Yost will tell you it's not because he's not working. The guy's in the cage all the time, trying to get better, working on his game, but there is something to be said about clearing your head, taking some time off, just getting a break.
Grounds out to Ramirez for the first out.
For the most part, a player is never going to ask for that. Never. And most times a player will fight it. But that's where, you know, whether you're the hitting coach or the manager or the front office, it's, hey, look, we're not giving up on you. And it's not that we don't have any confidence in you, but just take a breather, watch the game, slow it down, take a few days. You know, and when that's done, the manager, it has to be, you're not playing for the next 2 or 3 days.
And that happened last year in Pittsburgh.
Well, there's a difference, though. When you say you're not playing 2 or 3 days, that means you're not playing 2 or 3 days. It doesn't mean, oh, you're not playing. Oh, hey, by the way, grab a bat in the 9th inning and go face the closer with the game on the line. Because then that does nothing. That's completely a mental you-know-what. And so, again, like, what do you have to lose? Sacrifice 2 or 3 games for the good of the season.
Soler behind in the count 1-2, but last year Clint Hurdle did that with Andrew McCutchen because McCutchen was struggling really for the first time in what I can remember, and he sat him for a series. Soler skies one to left center field. Almonte calls for it. 2 away here in the 5th. Well, tonight on Fox, the New York Yankees take on the defending world champion Chicago Cubs starting at 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox. And if Game 2 is as good as the opener of the series was yesterday, oh boy, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that game. Ought to be exciting. I remember having an opportunity to play in that series many years ago. It was the first time the Yankees had visited Wrigley Field at the time since Babe Ruth had called his shot. So it's fun. The atmosphere is going to be great. You know what's even better is that, you know, the rate that this game is going, we'll be able to get back, settle down, watch it. We'll probably get to watch the post-game show. KB, Alex, and Nick Swisher, they'll post-game for this and then pre-game. Man, this thing keeps moving. They're going to have a lot of time in front of that camera. Man, I envy those guys.
No balls and 2 strikes. The count to Brandon Moss. Was that 2003 when the Yankees went to Wrigley?
They did. And that was the first time, like I said, since Babe Ruth.
Brandon Moss swings at the curveball. A 1-2-3 inning for Tomlin. We're through 5 already. That's right. 1-0 Royals. It is the top of the 6th inning. It is 5:32 Eastern time. And it is 1-0 Royals on top of the Indians. Justin Kutcher alongside Eric Karros here on FS1. 3-4-5 in the order for the Indians. Michael Brantley leading off against Jason Vargas, who starts him off with a ball up high. Brantley singled his last time up, has also flown out to left field. Takes the pitch up and in. 2 balls and no strikes. Vargas wants a new baseball put in play at 83 pitches now through just over 5 innings. The Indians have left 5 men on base, 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, and 1 in the 5th. Ground ball up the middle. Merrifield slides, gets up. What a play! Whit Merrifield, who can play all over the diamonds, looking really good at second base.
Yeah, that's an excellent play. You've got Brantley running from the left side, so he's a step closer to first base. But what's impressive right there is he feels that he's on the grass. You know, and so you've got to battle with the change in surfaces, the dirt going to the grass. Never knowing that ball can hit that little bit of the area where the surface changes. Really a nice play by Merrifield.
One away now for Edwin Encarnacion with a shift on Three players on the left side of the infield for Encarnacion, who has walked and grounded out to second, although that ground out to second was to Merrifield, where he is essentially standing right now on the left side of second. He pulls it to third. Moustakas, the one hopper, and there are two away here in the sixth.
Well, Jason Vargas doing exactly what Ned Yost just said before the game. He hits his spots, not leaving anything over the middle part of the plate. He's making the Indians hitter expand the strike zone, staying outside, inside, dropping the off speed. I mean, you look at that pitch right there. As a hitter, you're not going to offer at it. It's a strike, but until you get two strikes, you go, I don't really want to go after that pitch.
Quickly ahead in the count, no balls and two strikes to Jose Ramirez, who singled to right field his last time up.
They went away last time with two strikes. The first time he came inside and froze him.
Perez sets up outside. Did he go? The appeal to first base? Yes, he did, says Rob Drake. And a 1-2-3 sixth inning for Jason Vargas. What a pitching matchup we have here in Kansas City. 1-0. KC on top. Those fountains, you know, you're at Kauffman Stadium. One of my favorite aspects of coming here to Kansas City. When they renovated this ballpark, they did such a great job with it. Alcides Escobar takes the first pitch low and outside for ball one. He grounded out to second base. Growing up, watching games here at Kauffman Stadium on TV, I always remembered the fountains when they renovated it to make it look as pretty as they did. What a job.
That really is a beautiful stadium. One of the nicer parks in the game. I like PNC, Pittsburgh. I like San Francisco as well.
Safeco.
Is that what it is?
No, 18 in San Francisco. I like
Safeco's
Safeco in Seattle.
Yeah. Dodger Stadium, still beautiful.
2 balls and a strike here. The count to Escobar. 0 outside. Now 3-1.
Pretty tough to walk this guy.
He does have 3 walks on the year.
That's 3 more than I thought he had.
He's up there to swing. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Again, that's what's made this team successful. I shouldn't say it's what they've been doing it the last few years, and they've been successful. But they just get up there, they swing the bat, they're going to put the ball in play, and they're going to use their athleticism to beat you.
Timeout asked for by Escobar. Both teams with 3 hits on the day. The Royals leading 1-0 on the RBI single by Hosmer. In the air, right center. Almonte going over. He's there, 1 away. Well, the game summary is pretty easy for you. A lot of zeros. It's the Eric Hosmer RBI single that extended his hitting streak to now 10 games. But how about this? Tomlin has thrown 58 pitches through 5 1/3 innings. Talk about being efficient.
Well, we talked about the starting pitching, that that's something that the Indians they're not where they want to be yet. But Tomlin has thrown unbelievably well today. He tried to get tricky against Hosmer, go inside on a pitch. Hosmer got him, but he's been efficient, allowed only 1 run. It's just, where's the offense been for the Indians?
1 ball, 1 strike to Merrifield, who's played a beautiful second base here today. He's 0 for 2. A line out to third his last time up, and a ground out to short. Pop up behind first, going over as Kipnis makes the little basket catch.
But we talk about Josh Tomlin, and he's doing the same thing Vargas did as far as he's staying away from the middle of the plate. He's working both sides. He is quote unquote pitching. Not going to wow anybody with the velocity. Doesn't have swing and miss stuff, but what he does have, he's got good location today.
Stockis takes the first pitch curveball outside for ball 1. Stockis 0 for 2. A ground out and a fly out. One ball and 1 strike.
We're getting to the stage 2 where, again, Tomlin is cruised through this Royals lineup for the most part. But historically, when he faces a group for the 3rd time, which we're getting through that 3rd time right now, that's where he tends to struggle. So we're going to have to watch him right now.
Inside, 2 balls and a strike. This is the career numbers for Josh Tomlin. The 3rd time through the order, it jumps up to 295 opposing batting average. Able to get the call in the outside corner, now 2-2. Trying to get through 6 innings, giving up 1 run. You can't ask much more than that. Breaking ball in the air, right field. Geyer looking into the sun, able to make the catch. And Tomlin has worked through 6, giving up just 1, but he trails 1-0. In the bullpen for the Royals, it is Matt Strahm. Yet another left-hander warming up. But Jason Kipnis will face Vargas leading off here in the 7th. And Vargas just threw his 90th pitch. It was a ball, 1-0. Kipnis is 0 for 2, has reached on a fielder's choice, struck out looking his last time up. Vargas with 6 strikeouts on the day. And he's even the count at 1-1.
Well, you'd have to believe that if Ned Yost can get Vargas through this inning, then goes to Soria and then Herrera, just like they did last night.
Pulled first base. That is a fair ball. And Kipnis hustling, able to beat Vargas to the bag. I think everybody thought that was going to be a foul ball. And the first base umpire, Rob Drake, said, fair.
You know, the way that Hosmer went after it, his body language made it seem like he thought it was foul. And I think when Vargas saw that, then Vargas started to slow down. You see Hosmer, he's just over there. It's just kind of like that, hey, that foul ball sort of stuff. And they're going to come back to bite him. They're probably going to have to take him out. See, Vargas doesn't think it's a fair ball. And again, the body language, the way Hosmer goes over there, you're just kind of like, hey, I'm going to get over there. I didn't feel like there was any urgency or anything.
Ed Yost is out, and he has just made the call to the bullpen, so that will be it for Vargas. It's going to be an infield single for Kipnis leading off here in the 7th. Vargas will get an ovation by the crowd here at Kauffman Stadium, a well-deserved ovation. He will leave with a 1-0 lead and a runner on first, nobody out here in the 7th inning. Kansas City, the new pitcher on the hill for the Royals is a left-hander, Matt Strahm. His last 5 outings since being recalled, he's been good. A 1.5 ERA. The lefty can bring it just right there, 93 miles per hour.
Well, the thing about it, 93, but he's so tall, he's right on top of you. So the release point is closer than your average pitcher. So while it's 93, it's getting on you a lot quicker than that.
Facing Brandon Guyer. Now tipped into the mitt of Salvador Perez. No balls and 2 strikes. Strom, 6'3", 200 pounds, but just lanky.
Lanky. Got some wingspan. Look at those arms.
What is this, the NBA draft?
Man.
1-2 the count to Geyer. Struck out his last time up, has also been hit by a pitch. Right now, just trying to get that runner into scoring position. Jason Kipnis with a gift infield single leading off the inning. Fastball just boring in on the hands of Brandon Geyer. And when speaking with Terry Francona before the game today, we talk about the struggles the Indians have had this year against lefties. It's waiting for a guy like Brandon Geyer to get going against lefties. Was so good last year against lefty pitching. And he strikes out here against a 96-mile-per-hour fastball.
Strom not messing around at all. He's not going to try and trick you, not going to do anything except go right after you. And you see, this is what he does against Geyer. It's just heat. Let's elevate right now. And then you know what? I'm going to just throw it about 96. You got a little piece of it. How about this time? 96 right down the middle.
One out now for Yan Gomes. A throw over to first base. Kipnis. He's 1 for 1 on the year in stolen bases. Gomes walked his last time up, has also flown out to center field. The Indians have been struggling offensively. Just 7 runs in their last 4+ games.
Well, and how about the fact, though, you've got Geyer hitting from the right side. You've got Gomes here hitting from the right side. And who did Ned Yost bring in? He brought in a lefty. Just because the Indians have been struggling against left-handed pitching.
Fastball up and away, 1-0. How different is it as a hitter when you've gone through 6 innings, a couple, 2, maybe 3 at bats, and you haven't seen a pitch above 90, and all of a sudden now the guy's coming out throwing 94, 95, 96 miles per hour.
Yeah, you just got to turn it up a little bit. I mean, that's again what is pitching. Pitching is trying to disrupt the hitter's timing. And as a hitter, you have to make adjustments. These are 2 different guys. I mean, Strom, you're not worried about somebody nibbling or somebody trying to trick you off speed. It's just coming at you. Again, you have different approaches for different guys, different types of pitchers. Look, they got to be happy Vargas is out. They didn't touch him, right?
3 balls, no strikes. The count to Gomes with Abraham Almonte in the on-deck circle. And there's a strike on the inside corner at 93. The Indians had a runner in scoring position in the 2nd and the 3rd innings. And that's outside for a walk. So 1st and 2nd. 1 out here in the 7th for Cleveland. The 8th walk of the year for Yan Gomes. He had 9 last year in 251 at-bats.
Hey, look, one of the trademarks of this Indians ball club, they are the most patient team in all of baseball. Pitches per at-bat, they lead all of Major League Baseball, over 4. And that's how they get to you. I mean, look, they didn't hit Vargas all that well. In fact, they didn't hit him at all. But he was at close to 100 pitches. They had to take him out. They get him out in the 7th inning. That is a component of offense. I mean, you don't just bang the ball all over the ballpark. There's other ways to get the pitcher out of the game.
Abraham Almonte 0 for 2. First pitch swinging after the walk. He fouls it back. mentioned the splits earlier for Almonte. 294 lefty, 125 righty. A chopper. Gloved by Hosmer. Strom gets over the bag in time to make the play. That is a nice play by both Hosmer and Strom.
Really an excellent play by Eric Hosmer for a couple reasons. That thing is bouncing high too, and you know he's got to stick with it. And it sounds crazy about a ground ball being in the sun, but the sun is behind home plate, shining right into Hosmer's eyes. He sticks with it, makes the nice throw. Strom over there covering, and immediately turns and looks.
Vargas looking on. Second and third, 2 outs. Remember, it was Hosmer who made that play initially to start the inning that allowed Kipnis to get on when he thought that first play was a foul ball. So here's Carlos Santana up and in. Watch out. Wow. 95. That'll make your heart skip a beat.
And this at bat really is the game up to this point, because yes, Kansas City's ahead. They've got the 1-0 lead, but a base hit right now puts Cleveland ahead, and then they go to their bullpen, and then you don't have a lot of luck against this Cleveland bullpen. You know, they don't have anybody up now, but again, there is that weapon down there.
Slider in there for a strike. 1-1 to Santana.
This pitch looked like it was off the plate. Again, though, not any different than what Pat Hoberg has been calling as the umpire behind the home plate.
Two balls and a strike. Kipnis at third, Gomes at second. 2 outs. Little flare, left field. Coming in as Gordon lays out, makes the catch. What a play by Alex Gordon. He'll need a new pair of glasses, but that's okay. A game-saving catch right there by Gordon. Wow. To Alex Gordon, you know, we talk about how much he has struggled offensively. He is not allowed it to affect his play in the outfields. And that play he just made in the outfield was spectacular.
Well, we talk about this Royals ball club. In the last few years, they've been known for their athleticism, their defense, and it showed once again.
Lorenzo Cain will lead things off against Josh Tomlin here in the 7th. Cain has scored the only run of the ball game. After a 1-out double in the 4th, came around on the RBI single by Hosmer. Tomlin at just 67 pitches. Now 68, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Two and one. This place is still buzzing after that catch.
It should be. Hey, that thing changes the whole game right there. 2 runs probably score. Indians take the lead. Tomlin's been dealing. You've got that bullpen down there just lurking for the Cleveland ball club.
In the air, right field. Brandon Guyer again looking straight up into that sun, able to make the catch. 1 away. So grip the moment, sponsored by Falcon Tires, the official tire of Major League Baseball. Well, this is our Falcon grip the moment. Just awesome.
Really was fully extended. You see Strom, he's fired up. You know, Vargas, he's really fired up. Yeah.
One away for Hosmer. Takes the first pitch for a strike.
You see him go right back outside. Doubt you'll see him go back inside. They've been throwing him away, getting strikes, getting ahead of the count, and then in that last RBI situation, they tried to sneak one inside, and they paid for it.
Nasty breaking ball right there by Tomlin. With that RBI single, now a 10-game hitting streak for Hosmer has the average up to 275. Ground ball, Kipnis at second. 2 away here in the 7th. Well, the only run of the game came back in the 4th inning after that double by Cain. It was Hosmer getting a pitch up in the zone, driving it to right center. Cain scored easily. And we've been in a pitcher's duel the entire day. And now Salvador Perez will step in, a single, and he's also grounded into a double play. A guy who absolutely owns Josh Tomlin. And what I love, you know, I'm watching Salvador Perez. Salvy's a big guy. They list him at 6'3". He looks even bigger. And then I look at the Indians, and their first base coach is Sandy Alomar Jr. And that's who Salvador Perez kind of reminds me of behind the plate.
Both tall. Sandy was a great defensive catcher. Had some good years with the bat as well.
Perez to left field. Brantley went back, now comes in, makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning for Tomlin. We will go to the 8th. It's still 1-0 Kansas City. Sponsored by The Hartford. When the unexpected strikes, The Hartford strikes back with small business insurance. And by Alien Covenant in theaters May 19th, rated R. Top of the 8th, a 1-0 lead for the Royals. It's their setup man, Joakim Soria, in 12 games, a 1-1 record, 2.13 ERA. Last night, came in, struck out the side. He'll face the heart of the order, 2-3-4, Lindor batting lefty, first pitch, and it's a 3-1 putout. That's got to feel good, right? Well, Tuesday,
go ahead.
Tuesday on FS1, the Yankees take a swing at Joey Votto and the Cincinnati Reds. That's Tuesday, 7 Eastern, right here on FS1. Who's got more power, Aaron Judge or Joey Votto?
That's not even a question. Aaron Judge, I mean, as far he hit a ball the other day, it was in BP, but it hit a TV in the snack stand, the concession stand. I mean, it was crazy how far he hits balls. And he's really been one of the big surprises. Get an opportunity to watch him on Big Fox later tonight. The Cubs take on the Yankees. Make sure you tune in for that one.
One out now for Michael Brantley. And I'm sorry, you were going to say something.
No, I don't want to say it.
Okay.
No, I was just going to say that Lindor, Brantley, and Encarnacion, the 3 Indians hitters this inning, have all fared well against Soria. You know, not a huge sample size, but a little surprised that Lindor went up there and swung at the first pitch.
Breaking ball in the dirt all the way to the backstop. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Brantley. Joakim Soria is one of those rare late inning relievers. Was a longtime closer for these Royals, but he's one of those guys who actually has 4 pitches and uses all 4 of them. Back up the middle, off the foot of Soria, tried to kick it for a kick save, and instead he kicks it into left field for a base hit.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Escobar would have been able to get to it, but Soria, no doubt, stuck his foot out. Not sure he wanted to deflect, although Escobar shading up the middle, he would have had it. Yeah, he would have made that play. Would have made that play.
So now the tying run on base, the go-ahead run at the plate, and Edwin Encarnacion. Encarnacion had the home run last night for the Indians. He was trying to hit one right there.
Well, the one thing you got going, and right now Sally Perez is asking for sunglasses because it's difficult to see up there. You've got the shadows. That now comes into play. Perez needing something different there. Actually got rid of the glasses. Again, very difficult right now as a hitter or even a catcher. Hard to pick up spin.
He's just going straight heat against Encarnacion, 0-2.
Again, great location, blowing away. Now you got him set up for anything. Great time for that splitter that Soria is known for.
Broken bat flare to right field. This is going to be trouble as Brantley will get to third easily because it was hit so poorly with Soler playing back. There was no chance for Soler to have a shot at Brantley. Runners on the corners, 1 out.
Again, he goes to that pitch, leaves it up a little bit. Encarnacion just fights it off. You see Merriweather basically playing on second base, right behind it in a shift sort of position.
And so now runners on the corners, 1 out. Jose Ramirez will bat from the left side. And the first pitch in the dirt, all the runners will hold. And the shadows are really, really creeping in. And Andrew Miller is throwing in the bullpen now for the Indians.
Yeah, talking about creeping in. Oof. You wouldn't want to see him when you can see really well, let alone throw some shadows out there.
Is he the biggest late inning weapon non-closer since Rivera in '96? K-Rod 02 with the Angels.
I mean, he is a weapon. Soria needs a strikeout right here. I mean, there's an opportunity for a double play, but you got that right side of the infield wide open with Hosmer having to hold the runner on.
Fouls it off. Watch out. 1-2.
All right, you got to go the split here. You just have. Oh, there's talk about splits. Look at those splits. 267 lefty, but 350 against the righter. But when you're talking about splits, that's what I'm throwing Soria right now. Right-hander versus left-hander, the split finger very tough to pick up. And there it is.
Yep, he offered. He went around. A big strikeout. Out number 2.
There's a splitter. You got the split on the screen with the righty-lefty combination, and then you see the splitter going right there. Again, for some reason, right-handed pitchers to left-handed hitters, that is just death to left-handed hitters. Back in the day, Hideo Nomo, Japanese pitcher, used to throw a split finger. Barry Bonds, Chipper Jones, no chance against him.
Now Jason Kipnis had that infield single in the 7th. The tying run 90 feet away in Michael Brantley.
A little surprised that Hosmer's not playing a step or two behind Encarnacion. Just to give him a bit more range with the left-handed hitting Kipnis at the plate.
Fastball at 95 for a strike. 1-1.
Soria trying to get into a spot where he can eventually go to that split finger. See the generous strike zone today. But Pat Hobart has been consistent.
Back up the middle, base hit, tie ball game. Kipnis comes through with 2 outs against Soria. And it's first and second with 2 outs, and it's 1-1 here in the 8th.
Well, he goes with that splitter right there. Not a bad spot. Kipnis does a nice job of staying with it and just driving the ball. Shoots it past Escobar. You know, you go back to that play. Brantley hit that ball up the middle, what looked like would have been an out to Escobar. Soria kicks it. Shoots it into left field.
Now a pinch hitter for the Indians. Lonnie Chisenhall will pinch hit for Brendan Guyer. Guyer was 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts and a hit by pitch. Chisenhall on the season, 280, a couple home runs, 13 RBIs. A base hit here. Encarnacion at second could give the Indians the lead. And Andrew Miller is warming up in that bullpen. Down low, 2-0. Vargas will get a no decision now. So really it came down to the Indians just wanted to see a righty. Off the end of the bat, and that may have got Salvador Perez. He's down. Maybe on the follow through.
No, foul ball. I think it hit him on the, shot him on the forearm. He's trying to catch his breath after something like that.
Oh yeah.
Oy. No bueno. That is not feeling good. I mean, that's the thing, you know, playing the catching position, you know, you're just constantly getting beat up, and then you've got to go up and hit. And hitting is hard enough when you feel great. When you're back there, you get hit in the shoulder, the arms, the hands, and And then you got to go up and hit. Perez is an offensive player. Again, that just speaks volumes of his worth and how great a catcher he really is. And just needs some time trying to regain his feeling probably in that forearm. See Drew Butera, he's not moving too quick, he knows.
He's good. Says thank you. 2 balls and a strike. The count to Chisenhall. Good numbers for Chisenhall this year. 2 outs with runners in scoring position. That's the situation he's in right now with Encarnacion at second. He takes the strike there at 94, 2-2. The 2 starters pitched great. Vargas and Tomlin. The 2-2. Down the first baseline, foul. We'll do it again. And now for the Royals, it's in the hands of the bullpen. Soria has given up the lead. A 2-out RBI single by Jason Kipnis. Out there in the bullpen for the Indians, Andrew Miller has stopped throwing. But Josh Tomlin has thrown 76 pitches through 7 innings.
Yeah, no, he's been great. He really only one bad pitch, and it was, I don't know if it was a bad pitch as much as it was just bad choice of pitches. Tried to go inside to Eric Hosmer where he'd been setting him up away the entire game. Oz did a nice job. Got the RBI single. But even this inning, Soria, I mean, look at the ground ball hits off his foot. The 0-2 pitch to Encarnacion where he gets jammed, gets a hit.
And he gets Chisenhall. Right, nope. They say it's a foul ball. A foul ball is called by Pat Hobert. Chisenhall, he said right away he got a piece of it.
We got a piece of it, but Perez is arguing that it went fair.
Oh, man.
Tough one.
Maybe caught a break. They take advantage. Well, he fouls off another one.
Well, this inning, no question, Cleveland has had some things go their way. Now, granted, you could talk about the great catch Alex Gordon made the previous inning, so, you know, it all evens out, right? But again, that ball off Soria's foot, the 0-2 base hit for Encarnacion.
3-2, runners will go. Chisenhall strikes out on a 93-mile-per-hour heater. But the Indians have tied it up. We go to the bottom of the 8th, knotted at 1. Takes over for Brendan Geyer in right field after pinch hitting for him in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Andrew Miller has taken over on the mound for Josh Tomlin. He'll face Alex Gordon leading off the inning. He starts him off with a slider and a strike, and the numbers are ridiculous.
Well, you look at the ERA, it says enough right there. 13 innings pitched, 20 strikeouts. I mean, how about if you're Alex Gordon right now? You know, you're struggling offensively this year. You know, nothing to show for anything today. You made a great defensive play, but hey, by the way, you're up this inning. Andrew Miller, shadows, go get him.
Have fun.
Life of a big leaguer.
Foul tips that one. 1-2. You know, Andrew Miller was drafted by the Tigers first round out of North Carolina as a starter. Was supposed to be a stud starter. Was in the trade for Miguel Cabrera. And he turned himself into the elite reliever in baseball. It wasn't an easy journey, though, for him.
No, Baltimore and Boston, that's really where he found himself. He and another right-hander that used to pitch for Boston, Daniel Bard, who threw about 100 miles an hour, were teammates in North Carolina.
2-2.
I mean, how would you like to face either one of those guys in college? Jeez.
Gordon does have good numbers against Andrew Miller in his career.
I need to see, though, one more thing in the shadows. I need to see that. I need to see that split.
Foul tips it, stays 2-2. It was Gordon's diving catch on a little flare out to left field by Santana to end the 7th that kept the Royals on top. At that time, 1-0. But then Jason Kipnis came through in the 8th, a 2-out RBI single. 2-2, able to hold off against the slider. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jorge Soler on deck. Melvin Herrera is warming up in the bullpen for Kansas City.
And you look at this, there's a shift. You know, you're facing a guy against Andrew Miller, and you're still shifty.
3-2, broken bat shattered. Kipnis from the outfield, low throw, gets by Encarnacion, backed up by Gomes. And Gordon is able to reach first. And now let's see. Gordon, they're going to try to tag him here. And they're going to say safe. It's going to be ruled an error.
But you see it gets jammed and the bat goes flying. Kipnis does a nice job. He corrals it. Throw not great. But Encarnacion, remember, he has not played first base since April 15th. He's out there today. First baseman right there. You know, you're worried about the runner coming up your back. But that left foot, you've got to take that more towards the foul line so you give yourself an opportunity to pick that ball. But again, it's one of those things that you move, you've got your back really, and you're just perpendicular, I should say, or parallel, I should say, to that foul line. You're worried about that runner running up your back.
Now, Terry Francona came out to speak with Rob Drake. Yan Gomes, who backed up the play, threw back to Encarnacion because Gordon didn't turn towards foul territory.
It doesn't matter which way you turn. You have to make an attempt to go to second base. Now, see, he's making no attempt right there. You see Alex Gordon, he's not making an attempt. You have to make an attempt to go to second base.
So a leadoff man on base now for Jorge Soler, his first game as a member of the Royals. Foul ball, 0-1. The Indians, the bullpen, had a streak of 12 consecutive games without allowing an earned run. Had that snapped last night. The streak went 34 1/3 innings. before giving up a run last night in 3 1/3 innings. The bullpen ERA since April 20th is .24. Soler to center field. Almonte backs up, makes the catch. Gordon shows that he's tagging on a strong throw by Almonte, and Gordon will stay at first base.
I like that job by Alex Gordon. He knows Almonte's camping under it. You're hoping that maybe he gets a little lazy and forgets that, or just assumes that you're halfway. Gordon gets back to first and looks for the opportunity to tag and advance to second, but unable to do so.
And have a pinch hitter here. Jorge Bonifacio will pinch hit for Brandon Moss, get a righty against the lefty Andrew Miller. Bonifacio 262, a couple of home runs, 4 RBIs. His brother Emilio Bonifacio. First pitch fastball is low and inside for ball 1. One ball game here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Royals took the first game last night 3-1. That snapped an 8-game skid against the Indians. This Royals team who scuffled through the month of April, to say the least, trying to turn it around in the month of May. 97.
I mean, you just had a slider down at your feet, and then now you go fastball 97 out over the plate, out of the zone. Actually, not out of the zone, out the corner right there.
1-2 backdoor slider, called strike 3. 2 away.
I mean, you notice it, location and height varies on every pitch here. We're going in, we're getting even lower, and we're going fastball up and away. Didn't mean to do it, but did it anyhow. And then, oh, let's just drop that slider backdoor low and away. I mean, not only the pitches are nasty, but the location varies. It changes your eye level. So difficult to hit.
Alcides Escobar 0 for 2, a ground out and a fly out. 2 away here in the 8th. Gordon reached on the error. First pitch in there for a strike. 0-1. There was an error by Jason Kipnis off that broken bat from Alex Gordon. Escobar to left field. Brantley, he's under it, and we will go to the 9th inning. Tied at 1. Herrera looks like he's coming in. 1-1 ball game. And we're all tied up at 1 because in the 8th, this is how things got going. It was Michael Brantley off the foot of Joakim Soria, and then Encarnacion, the broken bat single to right. Brantley went to third base. Jose Ramirez struck out, but then with 2 outs, Kipnis up the middle, drove in Brantley to tie the game at 1. And so here in the 9th, a new catcher in the game, Drew Butera, has come in. We saw Salvador Perez take that foul ball off the forearm, and Butera gets to catch the closer, and Kelvin Herrera. Herrera starts off Yan Gomes with a breaking ball. Herrera 4 of 5 in save opportunities, this not being a save opportunity. A 2.45 ERA, 11 innings, 7 strikeouts to 2 walks. He can light up the radar gun.
Came in last night, recorded the save. Encarnacion hit a double against him, but stranded him on the base paths.
Gomes to center field. Lorenzo Cain is there. 1 out in the 9th. You think about the evolution of this team in the bullpen. In 2014, you had Herrera as your 7th inning guy, Wade Davis as your 8th inning guy, Greg Holland as your 9th inning guy, and then Davis became the closer. Herrera became your 8th inning guy. Now Davis is in Chicago, and Herrera is your closer, and Holland is in Colorado as a closer. Now,
might I add, doing a great job.
Wow.
Wow.
The Rockies, a surprise team to start the season. The Colorado Rockies this year, 18-12 coming into today, leading the NL West. And it's Abraham Almonte, 1 ball and 1 strike. Almonte gets to turn around and bat from the left side where he hits 294. Unfortunately, he has to hit against Herrera. '98, 1-2. Nine outside at 99, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fouls it back, stays alive at 2-2. Don't forget Yankees and Cubs tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time on Fox. Another 2-2. 99. Almonte goes down swinging.
Again, Herrera just rearing back and throwing it by Almonte, 99 miles an hour. You know, last night only his 4th save of the year. Just hasn't had a lot of opportunities. In fact, prior to last night, April 19th was Herrera's last save.
That's how bad things have been for the Royals.
Just no opportunities. Just offensively, again, you know, today, 1 run.
Santana takes the pitch down low for ball 1. A single back in the 3rd. He was robbed of that base hit by Alex Gordon in the 7th. At the time, kept the Royals on top. 2 balls and no strikes.
Obviously, somebody, although he leads off, you got to be careful with him. You're 2-0 right now. You can't just rear back, and I don't care how hard you throw. Santana's looking for one thing to do right now, and that's drive something.
2-0, he gets a pitch, lifts it to right field, going back is Soler. Soler on the warning track, looks up, gone. Eric Garros calls it. Carlos Santana with his 3rd home run of the year gives the Indians the 2-1 lead.
I mean, that's the thing where sometimes you let ego get in the way. You know that the hitter has one thing to do right there. A guy like Santana, he's coming out of his shoes. 2 outs, going to do it 1 swing, and I get 2-0. You don't want to walk it, but it just poorly executed right there. A great job by Santana. I mean, still, you got to hit 99, and that's some sort of hitting, and that's why he's a great young player.
And Santana is not your typical leadoff guy. He was 0 for 14 prior to that against Herrera, and now Lindor to right field. That one is gone. Back to back by the Indians, and they lead 3-1. The rest of Major League Baseball right now is watching, saying we must throw lefties against the Indians, because apparently no matter how hard you throw, they can hit the righties.
Well, you see again, this is a fastball. Trying to go away, leaves this pitch over the inner part of the plate. Kind of leaks a little bit in, and Lindor just, when we talk about Lindor and what he's added so far in this early part of the year, it's power. And again, this 8 home runs already.
Back-to-back home runs with 2 outs in the 9th by Carlos Santana and Francisco Lindor. 3-1, Indians now lead, and Michael Brantley behind on the count, 0-1. And now 0-2. Santana, not your typical leadoff hitter. Brantley strikes out. But how about that? Santana, Lindor, back-to-back. Indians lead 3-1. Royals coming up for last up. right there. There he is. His home run with 2 outs has given the Indians the lead. Then Francisco Lindor followed back-to-back home runs. It's 3-1 Indians leading as we go to the bottom of the 9th. And Cody Allen is coming in for the save. He's 7 for 7 this season, a 0.82 ERA, 22 strikeouts in 11 innings, and just 3 walks.
I mean, you just had to face Andrew Miller, right? And you know, you think, okay, well, that's the toughest guy to face. Well, here's a guy that dominates as well.
First pitch breaking ball. Misses to Whit Merrifield. Yan Gomes thought it was a strike. I think Merrifield thought it was a strike too. He's 0 for 3. A ground out, a line out, and a pop out. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, basically has become a battle of the bullpens, right? Soria and Herrera, you know, unable to do the job. Miller, and now we'll see Allen. A lot of you fantasy players that have Cody Allen, boy, you're rooting right now.
He's fallen behind 3-0 to Whit Merrifield. And if you're Merrifield, you got to be thinking take a strike. He does. 3-1. Your goal right now for the Royals is bring the tying run to the plate.
Well, and you've got the right guys coming up. Moustakas, Kane, and Hosmer. I mean, right now you got to get Hosmer to the plate. You have just got to get him to the plate. That just means get somebody down to first. Moose, he can hit one out. Again, the Haas, he's been as hot as anybody on that Royal Ball Club.
The 3-2 from Allen. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. 1 away in the 9th. Here is the prevailing moment of the game, sponsored by the Hartford. We just saw it in the 9th.
Well, you got a 2-0 fastball. Santana says, get out of here. He crushes this Herrera offering. And then Lindor says, I can do just as well, adding power to his game this year. Deposits it deep in the right field.
Moustakas takes the first pitch for a strike. You talk about the starters. Vargas, 6+ innings, 4 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts for Kansas City. Backdoor breaking ball misses. 1-1. Josh Tomlin, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, no walks, 3 strikeouts, 75 pitches in those 7 innings.
Tomlin was great. I mean, it would have been a shame for either one of these starters to have to take a loss. Again, wins and losses really not representative of how somebody pitches. Tomlin absolutely dominant and efficient, by far his best outing.
A 2-1 to Moustakas. Fastball is high and outside. Now 3 balls and 1 strike. Now there was a lot of thought last year that when the Indians acquired Andrew Miller, that he would become the closer. Cody Allen stayed in that role. And that's what's great about this team. There's no ego with these guys in the bullpen. And Allen misses inside, which means the tying run will come to the plate. Lorenzo Cain, who has scored the only run for the Royals, had a double back in the 4th. Terry Francona did such a great job managing that bullpen last year in the postseason. And now really all he's doing is watching. Cain has 1 home run on the year, just 6 RBIs on the season.
Never had a hit though against Cody Allen. 0 for 7 with 3 strikeouts.
first pitch fastball he chases. 0-1.
And Eric Hosmer, the man on deck, 7 at-bats, does have 1 home run against Cody Allen. The very least, you've got to stay out of any type of double play. You've got to get Hosmer to the plate.
The 0-1. Breaking ball. Kane, he did check his swing, says Rob Drake. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away here, bottom of the 9th inning. Tomorrow will be Mike Clevenger, who was called up from Columbus for Corey Kluber, and he'll face Danny Duffy. Oof. Fouled back, good swing by Kane.
I think right now you got to look at your Cody Allen on Gomes. You got to go with the slider away. You had him do a check swing on the previous pitch prior to that foul ball. He's had some decent hacks on the fastball. 1-2. Maybe the knuckle curve here. Elevating the fastball.
He goes right back up the middle. First and second, 1 out for the Royals.
I don't understand the selection there. I mean, you're 1 and 2. And if you're going to elevate something, first of all, why are you going to elevate right down the middle of the plate, let alone a little bit out over? I mean, you saw him check swing on the breaking ball. Lorenzo Cain, a great job of hitting right there, just sticking the bat out, keeping the inning alive, now bringing the winning run to the plate in the hottest hitter.
And this is what the Royals did during their run. They always excelled late in games. Against the great bullpens, they were able to manufacture runs. And now you've got the winning run at the plate, and Eric Hosmer, who had the RBI single back in the 4th, had that huge home run last night. First pitch, breaking ball. They go to second for 1. That's the only out they'll get. So runners on the corners with 2 outs. Fielder's choice, 4-6. And remember, Salvador Perez had to leave the game, so it's Drew Butera now hitting here in the 5-hole.
Drew Butera, not known for his offense, always been a defensive catcher, great thrower. You can see the numbers. 158, no RBIs this year. Facing one of the top closers in the game.
First pitch, breaking ball is low and outside for ball 1.
You know, that's kind of where again, go over the fastball. You know, this guy that doesn't swing the bat that often, not known for his hitting. You know, start him off with the fastball, get ahead. You know, you throw the breaking ball. Where was that breaking ball against Kane when you could have put him away? Got Hosmer on a breaking ball. Yeah,
I mean, fastball.
Yeah. You don't get to hit much. You've been sitting all day. Get out there, go hitting some shadows against 94, 95.
Cody Allen looking for his 8th save of the season. Breaking ball is up high.
I mean, when you get into these situations, now you're 2-1. If you're Butera, you go, all right, I know a fastball is coming right here. So I'm going to cheat a little bit, try and get the bat head out in front.
Fastball popped up. Foul territory, left side. Ramirez has room, makes the catch, and that will do it. The Indians take game 2 of this series. Back-to-back home runs with 2 outs in the 9th inning by Carlos Santana and Francisco Lindor, and the Indians win it 3-1. For Eric Karros, I am Justin Kutcher saying so long from KC. Let's go to KB in LA.